Hey guys, so we're gonna do a stitch with me. I know it's taken me basically the whole month to get a stitch with me to you guys, but it's just been a crazy month. Not gonna lie, like the first like week and a half, I needed a break from recording so much, having done Vlogoween. Again, thank you all so much to everyone who loved those videos and wanted more Stitch With Me videos, especially. And I promised that I would be able to do at least one of these a month. And I wanted to be able to do 1 to 2 a month. But yeah, the second week of this month, I started a 14-day fast. And I am recording this on Monday and I get to eat again today. I did it in a healthy way, fully supervised. It's all good. But anyways, this is my color palette for this new start. We're going to be using 32 count Lugana, of course, in Fog. And this is my color palette. And what are we stitching, you might ask? We are going to be starting Heartstring Sampleries, the Choose Your Own Motto Sampler. Do I have a motto picked out? Heck to the no, I don't. I know. I have no clue. I have changed the colors drastically. If you can tell from this photo, I wanted to make it a little bit more me. I'm all for customization, you know that. And some of these, so I bought the physical. And I made a working copy, so I do have a working copy printed out. But some of the symbols are really hard to read. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're really hard to read on the printed out version. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's, I have really bad eyes. So it's a little tiny for me. And so some of the symbols are hard for me to read. So I was really surprised that there are 4 greens because you can't tell in the photo that there are 4 greens. Because a lot of these, it's all done in overdyes. A lot of them are very similar in color. And I will warn you about this. She doesn't give DMC conversion. So I picked it loosely off the colors, but went with my own color theme. So mine is going to look very different from this, similar, but different. And I'm okay with that. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started. I don't know how far I'm going to get today in this stitch with me. Probably going to keep this one a little bit short. This is going to go up. Like I said, I am stitching on Monday and recording this on Monday, but this is going to go up Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I feel like my tummy is going to start rumbling. But I have to make it just a little bit longer. I mean, what's another hour or two whenever you've made it 14 days, right? So long fasting is totally healthy, by the way, if you do it properly. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I am doing it properly. And like I said, completely supervised. And going over every single day how I feel. I've done 7 days. So I've only really been checked in past day 7. I mean, you know, if you've done 7 or 8, they only really need to check on you past the days that you haven't done before. Okay, so what color are we starting with? It looks like we're starting with the purple. Like I said, some of these symbols are really hard for me to read. Because there's a spade and a club on here and they look the same on the printout. It might just be me. I wonder if maybe just my working copy is kind of shoddy. Is the printout also harder to read for me? No, the printout. Okay, it's just my working copy is a little shoddy, so I'm gonna leave the hard copy open, which Normally I don't do that. And I only have the hard copy in here with me because I just picked out my colors. But I've been using the photo as like a reference picture, honestly. Let's see. Adjust that just a little bit so I don't have to hold my arms too far over the table. So let's see. What have I been up to? So I finished yesterday. This weekend I watched season 4 of The Crown. I know I was like a week or two behind, but life happens sometimes. So what you can't see is some of my whips fell off of my table, the corner of my table, onto the floor, and Potter is laying on them now. He also got a bath this morning. And he's not the happiest about it. He does fine in the actual bath. This is going to be hard with all this fabric over here. He's fine in the actual bath, but he resists a little bit going into the bath, and he's a little salty after the bath. But he's drying off. He's all right. And he's already attempted to cuddle once since then. So he's not super mad, you know. He gets baths pretty regular, so it's nothing new to him. Oh, yes, okay. But what I was saying was I did finish watching season 4 of The Crown. Really enjoyed it. It's really good. I'm excited for season 5 and 6. They're going to take another long break like they did between season 2 and 3. So they're going to record next year, and season 5 won't come out until 2022. So it's a long time to wait if you are a fan of The Crown. But, and those are going to be the final 2 seasons from what I've read and heard and all that. So I think they said that it's going to go through possibly her 60th anniversary of being queen, which I believe is in 2012. So it could go a little bit. It could be a little bit earlier than that. They may do just the 50th in 2002. So not 100% for sure. But it'll definitely cover the 90s and more of the Princess Diana side of it and the boys growing up and all of that. It was really, really good. I think I talked about, I know I've talked about this. I got rid of my DirecTV and I got a Fire Stick, and I got my Disney Plus back because I have the Fire Stick and I could like watch stuff now on it, not just on my iPad and my phone. So I have Disney Plus, Netflix, and Hulu. And I have Peacock, which is free. Certain things are free to watch on there. Enjoying watching Murder, She Wrote on Peacock. And they have some other like really good like older shows like The Munsters and like Columbo and things like that. I'm an old soul, you guys. And but I decided to check out, so there's an app on the Fire Stick called IFC Free. And I used to watch IFC all the time. They have really good like older movies and like shows and stuff. But I found this weekend. They have Little House on the Prairie for free on IFC free, the app on Fire Stick. So if you are a Little House on the Prairie fan, you can watch it. So I started watching that this weekend too. And I watched a couple of movies this weekend. My friend Tracy was over and she had never seen A Muppet Christmas Carol. So we had to watch that. And then last night / this morning on Netflix, I watched Love Guaranteed. That's really cute. It has Rachel Lee Cook in it, if y'all remember her from the 90s. She's now in Hallmark movies and stuff, but she did a Netflix film. And one of the Hughley brothers. I can't remember which one, though. The younger one. He played Coach. Oh, which Hughley brother is it? He played Coach on The New Girl. I can't remember which one it is. They all have D names. I don't remember names very well. But anyways, it's really, really good. It's super cute. I think it's worth a watch. And I've been watching The Teacher on Hulu. I'm all caught up though. It was on FX or is on FX. I'm all caught up and new episodes come out on Tuesdays. I've gotten caught up with Grey's Anatomy. I've gotten caught up with Station 19. I've got caught up with, oh my gosh, what is that really popular show? This Is Us, The Connors, and A Million Little Things. I'm so glad that Eddie didn't die. If that was a spoiler alert for you, I'm sorry. But he didn't. That made me very happy. I will say that the new shows this year, I'm not the most excited that they rewrote the seasons to be all about COVID. I kind of wanted, not gonna lie, kind of wanted my TV shows to not cover it until maybe the next year. I had high hopes. It's fine. It's just at this point in the game, I just wanted TV shows to drop it for a year, but it is what it is. I think, though, this is the last season of This Is Us. I think they were always intended to stop at season 5. If that was a spoiler for you, I'm sorry. I believe that's what I read last year in a news article, like a TV entertainment article that talks about that kind of stuff. If you can hear him in the background, he's drying himself off and occasionally huffing and puffing. It's kind of adorable. I've been rewatching The Misfits. It's a British show. It came out in the early 2000s. And I love it. I've watched it multiple times. I used to own it, but then they didn't release the last 2 seasons in America on DVD. So I got rid of my DVD sets of the first 3 seasons because I do have OCD and I am a completionist type OCD person. And it really bothered me that I couldn't complete my set. So, but it is on Hulu and it's like always there. But it's about these young offenders. That's how they describe themselves, honestly. But they basically got in trouble for different things. They're like, I don't know, like maybe like 17, 18 or something. And they're doing community service, and there's like this big storm, and anybody who was outside the day that this storm happened, so all over London, or I don't know, so it's not in London, but it's, all over. If you were outside when the storm happened, you get superpowers, and like anything from like being able to control milk, which is actually kind of dangerous if you watch the episode about that, to like mind controlling people, to giving people tattoos that affect their like wants and desires. It's really interesting. Anyways, I've always loved the show. I've been rewatching it because I've been wanting to rewatch it. It's on Hulu if you're interested, but it's really good. I've also always been a Skins fan, named after marijuana papers. That's what they call marijuana papers over there. It's a slang term for it. I don't know if everybody does, but it is a slang term for that. And I've always been a fan of that. Again, it's like another like teen show, but I've always loved them. And one of my friends was like, why are you watching these like old teen shows? And I'm like, why not watch them? And they're like, because you weren't a teen. And I'm like, okay, but I watched them whenever they first came out, and I was in like my early 20s. So why wouldn't I rewatch a show that I really like? Like people rewatch Buffy and like Charmed and like Dawson's Creek, and some of those, in my opinion, can stand the test of time. Some of them have not. I've rewatched a few of those, and they greatly annoy me, a couple of them nowadays. But that's me. Sometimes our tastes change, and sometimes they don't, for certain things. So it is what it is. But anyway, so I've been rewatching that, and I've been watching the Great British Bake Off. The finale is this Friday, and then the next Friday, the holiday edition comes on, and I watched the preview for it for this year, and one of the episodes, the cast of Dairy Girls is going to be on it. And that show, if you haven't seen that one, it is very crude. I cannot lie to you. It is a very, very crude show. So don't watch with little ears around unless you don't care. But it is hilarious. I love it. It is so comical. I cannot wait for another season of that. It's really good. But Tracy and I started, she had never seen Heirs, or also known as The Inheritors. It's a Korean drama, and it's on Netflix right now. And I saw it back whenever it came out. Like, I waited every week for a new episode to come out on Drama Fever. And I've been telling her, like, oh, it's so good. It's one that I don't own yet because, honestly, it's so expensive to order from Mall Key nowadays. Their prices used to be way cheaper and made more sense if you wanted to, like, make a splurge order. But it's just so expensive now. And like, their deal used to be buy 5, get the 6th one for free, but they were like $15 to $20 each. Now they're all $25 to $30 each. The season box sets of the different dramas. And so I haven't bought a Korean drama in ages because it's just really expensive now to try and get them. And it's only really worth it, shipping costs, because it's like $20, $30 if you're getting 5 or 6. Well, I don't want to drop almost $200 on some Korean dramas at the moment. I used to make a yearly splurge and I would get like 5 or 6 for $100. And that was way more worth it to me. But Netflix and Hulu are starting to put some of the more popular ones on their streaming service. And like Netflix is even coming out with Korean dramas. And so that's just a little known fact about me. I do love Korean dramas, although I stopped watching them whenever I got heavily back into stitching, because I can't stitch and watch a Korean drama that I've never seen before at the same time, because you have to read subtitles. They don't dub them. They're all subtitled. And so if you want to know what's happening, you have to obviously read the screen. And so you miss a lot of stuff, because I am not kidding you. Seasons of Korean dramas are usually like anywhere from like 10 to 12 to 20 episodes a season. And a lot of their shows only have one season. There's a few that have multiple. Boys Over Flowers has 2 seasons. But most of the ones that I've watched have a single season, and they have around 12 to 16 episodes. But whenever I tell you that enough happens in an episode to be a full 20 episode season of an American show, I am not kidding. So much happens in a single episode. It is absolutely crazy. It's one of the reasons why I love them so much. But you cannot look away from the screen or you will miss a whole lot of the show. And I am not kidding whenever I say that. So I very, very much love Korean dramas, but I can't do my craft at the same time. I just can't. And that might sound a little silly, but it's just true. If you've ever been into Korean dramas, which I'd be interested to know if you've ever seen one or have wanted to see one. I know there's also, there's Chinese dramas and Taiwanese and I'm sure Japanese ones as well, but the Korean ones are the easier ones to find on streaming services. I used to be a member of Drama Fever, and they had Taiwanese and Chinese. I don't think they had Japanese, though. And they also had Spanish. But I tried watching a Taiwanese version of a Korean drama that I had seen. It was okay. I preferred the Korean version. So I stick mostly to Korean dramas. I just tend to like them more. But anyways, I started her on Airs. I knew it as Airs. On Drama Fever, the American name for it was Airs. But on Netflix, they call it The Inheritors. It's the same thing. It's really good. It had the 2 main stars were in a show, the first show that we ever watched with our friend Casey back in college called You're Beautiful. But we watched an episode of that, and then she was like, this makes me want to rewatch Boys Over Flowers. So we started Boys Over Flowers over again. And because I've seen both of them, I can stitch and like look up every once in a while and see like what's going on. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what's happening. But yeah, those 2 are both so good. But there's a couple, I've added them to my list. So what I want to do, so I'm going to watch the other 2 with Tracy whenever she's in the mood to like watch a Korean drama. We'll just slowly make our way through them. But I want to like maybe like twice a week or something end my night. Like I'm done stitching and I'm just like laying in bed, like getting ready to go to sleep and stuff. I want to start a new Korean drama and like 2 to 3 nights a week, just watch an episode, like in bed at the very end of the night, and like put my phone away. Cause again, you can't look away. I pause it because, like I genuinely cannot look away whenever I'm watching them. Because I promise you miss just so much. And, so yeah. But we've been watching Korean dramas again, which it's just been so nice. I really, really enjoy them. And so it's been nice to like get back to that. It's also been nice to get back to sewing. So I know like November, I was like, I'm going to start all the things and I'm going to be stitching all this stuff and starting all these things for next year. And I still really want to do that. I may not get to everything that I like wanted to get to, but I'm okay with that because some of the ones that I'm for sure not going to get to are series that I already have going. I just don't have the next one started. And I wanted to get like the next one started and whatnot, but you know, I'm just going to have to give up on that aspect of the dream. But but I'm not mad about it because started series don't count for next year as new starts. I've already made that rule. I've established that rule. But I've been so excited to get back to sewing too. So to do all of the crafts and all the things, you know, you have to not actively do one of them at all times. And I've been actively cross-stitching for 4 or 5 years now straight and not doing my other crafts like hardly ever. So, you know, it is nice that I got that creativity back to work on some of my other stuff. It's been really nice. So yeah. Thought I would never get this piece started. It's been sitting there. I think this came out this year, 2018. I've had this since it came out. As soon as she like announced it and released it, I had to buy it. Cause how fun is it to have a traditional sampler, but you get to like choose what the middle says. Again, I have no clue what I want the middle to say. You get a motto, 1 or 2 in the actual pattern. I have it out. I guess I could look, you know. I guess I could not be lazy. Let's see. You get 2 mottos in the original pattern. And then I did pay, it's like $3 or $5. You get like 10 more that other people suggested to her, and she charted them. But I believe you can make a special, I mean, obviously you can chart your own. But I believe you can make a special request order and she will chart whatever saying you want to fit in the space too. But I, at this point, honestly have no idea what I want it to say. So I'm not really worried about that. I wonder if y'all can hear him. He's licking his feet right now. Ay. I wonder if that's annoying to anybody. I think it's adorable, but you know, not everybody's gonna feel that way. And I understand that. But it is pretty cute. Maybe. I'm not sure. Potter. Hey. Oh, it's been a stitch with me, hasn't it? I finally finished the second book in the Crazy Rich Asians series. It was really good. I need to get the third book. I'm first in line, but I have it on hold, like, to not deliver yet, because I have so many books checked out right now. It's asinine. Like, if I could even explain to you, I'm in the middle of like 26 books. I know I've talked about that before. It's absolute absurdity. But I truly get bored of one book and I have to switch to something else for like a couple of days. It's craziness. I don't know how else to explain it other than pure craziness. But it works for me. It wouldn't work for everybody. I am very aware of that. Potter's making me laugh a fair amount right now. Is anybody ready and excited for Thanksgiving? I am going down to my dad's and seeing him and my grandmother and Jackie. I've seen them all once or twice every single month for the last, well, this whole time. So we're keeping it very small, very low key. My grandmother is making homemade lasagna. I'm so excited. I don't get to eat the lasagna. Let me clarify. I am still keto. I don't get to eat the lasagna, but I can eat the homemade sauce. So she left me out a double batch. I am bringing double zucchini noodles. I am going to make me a gigantic bowl of pasta sauce. I am making some extra mushrooms for myself because her pasta sauce has mushrooms in it, but her lasagna, we don't use ricotta. She makes it old school Italian way. She makes a bechamel sauce with whole giant pieces of mushroom. But I can't snag a mushroom out of it to add more to my pasta because it's covered in bechamel sauce, which is flour based. So I asked her to leave me out a double batch so that way I would get seconds this time, because normally I don't get seconds. Everybody else gets to have seconds of lasagna. And if I'm still hungry at the end of the meal, because we've gone to her house, like, this will be the third time this year that we've gone to her house to have lasagna, which is that's unheard of. She doesn't usually like offer to cook this often. She's genuinely just wanted to be around people. But I never get to have seconds because there's not any just like plain sauce out. You know what I mean? So I asked for her to leave me out double. I'm going to cook some extra mushrooms for myself so that way I can add some bigger chunks of mushrooms in my pasta sauce. I'm so excited. And I'm making the hot vegetable. There's going to be salad and bread there. I can't eat either of those because I can't have the dressing, which is fine. And I can't have bread, which again is also fine. And normally my grandmother makes steamed asparagus, but she was like, I kind of want something different, but I don't know. And I was like, well, I'll bring a vegetable. And she was like, well, what are you thinking? And I was like, I'll saute zucchini. And she was like, like what we had at the house a couple months ago? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, oh, I would love that. Please bring that. So I'm going to bring sauteed zucchini in butter and garlic and pepper and a little bit of salt. And then I'm going to bring the dessert. And I'm bringing keto pumpkin cheesecake. Pretty stoked about that too. Cannot even lie. Pretty stoked. But the rest of the time, I'm just going to be hanging out with my dad and Potter and my dad's cat, Daniel. So Potter gets to hang out with his little cousin, I guess. I don't know. What would he be? I guess cousin. Nephew? They get along well enough. It's all right. Potter, what are these noises that you're making? He's very intense on getting clean. Well, not he is clean. Getting dry. But my grandmother was gonna make like key lime pie or possibly pecan, and so that's why I was like, I'll make the dessert, because then, you know, one, it's close enough to traditional pumpkin pie, right? And but it's gonna be keto, and so I think that they'll enjoy it, and if they don't, you know, it's fine. But I think they'll enjoy it, or at least they'll lie and tell me that they do, which is good enough for me at the same time. And and I'll be able to enjoy, you know, a little bit of dessert with them without having to bring my own that nobody else can have or would want. So normally I bring over like ice cream or something, but not this time, because they always have pies, and I'm like, oh, I can't eat any of it, so I'll bring over, you know, like ice cream or candy bar or something, and so I'm excited that they're willing to try a keto dessert, so that way I can feel more a part of the group this time. But on a little section of it, I am going to put chocolate chips, because I actually really like chocolate and pumpkin together. So on probably like a fourth of it, I'm going to make most of it plain. But then like on a fourth of it, I'm going to like swirl in some Lily's chocolate chips to give it a chocolate pumpkin flavor. I really like that. I don't know why, but I've always kind of been into that. But anyways, anybody else looking forward to, or are you just like staying at home, super low key? Are you going and seeing like one or two family members? We've all been spending time with each other, so we feel pretty comfortable, and we're keeping it just the four of us. But I'm so excited. I'm also just excited to get away for a few days. I think we're gonna do like one petal of the pink, because this corner, all that's left is greenery, but I do want to add one more color. And we're gonna add one petal of pink, and then I'll call it a video. I don't want to make this too long. And I believe I talked about this in my Friday video last week, but because I'm not going to be easily accessible on Black Friday. I am going to record my Friday video early, but then y'all are going to get a longer vlog the Monday after Thanksgiving. Of what I was able to like work on and such. So this was supposed to be like a darker red color. These flowers in the corner, the big reddish pink flowers in the corner, I wanted to make them a little bit more like a darker pink because it's just more my vibe. I think I missed a little bit of a stitch right there. But that's kind of weird to me. Why is it off like that? That's odd. Let me fix this really fast. This one has a third little stitch right here. Don't know why. None of the other ones had that, but that's okay. Don't need to understand. Okay. So now I just have to figure out where this starts. 1, 2, right here. Oop. A little tail. Get back there. Came through. Oh, I think these colors are going to look really cool together. Pretty excited about that. Hope that we find out today or tomorrow if we have a half a day on Wednesday. As of right now, I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, but traditionally they give us half a day on Wednesday, but they don't tell us till the week of, and I'm not sure. Sometimes they tell us, they used to tell you the morning of, like at 8:05 on Wednesday, they'd be like, by the way, you get off at 12. But they haven't said anything. The last few years, they either tell you Monday or Tuesday. And if they tell you Monday, sometimes they wait until like 4:30 in the afternoon. And, oops. So sorry about that. And if they tell you on Tuesday, usually it's in the morning. So honestly, it's a toss-up. I truly don't know. But I don't know. I don't know if anybody genuinely expects us to have off this year because of the shutdowns at the beginning of the summer. They may not give it to us to save money or something. I don't know. Nobody really knows. I wish we knew. I'd be able to plan the rest of my week and prepping a little bit better. But that's life, I guess. Oh yeah, I mean, look at these colors together. That's pretty gorgeous, huh? I really like that. Poop. Got a little bit of a tangle in the back. Okay, I'm gonna have to end up calling it because I might have to do a fair amount of surgery in the back, but here is where we are stopping. I really do love these colors together, but yeah, I've got a little bit of a mess in the back, so I'm gonna have to do some surgery, and I don't want y'all to have to like sit and wait on that, so just gonna pull that back through so that way I can fix what's going on. And yeah, I really love this pattern. It's just my working copy that apparently is hard-ish to read. But I think it's really fun. If you want a really cool sampler, traditional style, where you get to choose what it says, this is definitely a really cool one. So I will see y'all next time. Thank y'all so much for listening to me ramble today. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.